name is Ace Backer. I have a degree in finance, a minor in entrepreneurship, and an indirect focus in physics. That's more or less my university education. I'm making this YouTube channel to start spreading information about uh, financial discipline, startups, financial entrepreneurship, anything along those lines. Today, I wanted to touch base on what university gives you and why people go there. Uh, it's no it's no secret that technology has made education more available to the world, but it's also devalued, private education because so much more information is available online to find for free, such as on YouTube, Google, etc. The value that I found in going to university was the connections that you make, the experiences that you have, but number one is time management. When you're fresh out of high school, usually you're not moving out of your parents' house right off the bat, and if you are, you're working or you've been working. When you're in university, you hang around other people that are motivated to have some skilled job in their future. Because of this, there's a lot of universal talent and worldwide talent coming to the United States. So you meet a lot of people from all over the world, which is really eye opening because the United States doesn't do too well on learning about other cultures because, they're across the ocean. Why would we care, right? But it's very important to note as globalization continues, cultures are affecting other cultures. And if you want to make money in this world, you have to know what other cultures are like. I got a full ride scholarship to university, but I came from a low income area. So I want to say just about 5 to 10 people in my graduating class went to university out of right around 200. Halfway through my senior year, more than half of our senior class was failing. So the motivation to seek higher education was not there. A lot of people were getting pregnant or working jobs and finding value in those immediate jobs, but in the long run they don't incorporate the costs that come with it. As you get older, you get more and more responsibilities that take up your time, take away your money, this being rent, food, and gas. And while you're in high school, all this is covered and paid for by your parents. When you get to university, if you're lucky enough to have parents that can pay it, or you manage to get a scholarship or loans or what have you, your rent, food, and gas, rent, food, and transportation for the most part is covered. If you don't think that you pay rent, I think I should reword that into housing because everything comes with a cost. And even if you think something is free, you're being charged in some form or fashion by restrictions, by what you can do in that space. It's very important to note that how you spend your time and the people you surround yourself with are going to influence you in either positive ways or negative ways. If you hang around four people that smoke marijuana every day, you're going to end up inhaling some marijuana, um, whether indirectly or who knows. So usually, drugs, alcohol, and other addictions that you don't notice can take over your life, and they'll slow you down from getting towards your goals or what you see as success. Your life is determined based on how comfortable you are with where you're at, and where you find success is personalized and catered to different people. Going back to touch base on a little bit more of what you can develop in university is you can develop skills that you never knew you had. Everybody that is there develops time management in some form or fashion because they have courses and work and whatever connections or clubs they're a part of that kind of force them to circulate around a schedule that they have to personalize and make for themselves. And that's something in high school that really wasn't touched base on. I would also like to say that work ethic is a little bit overrated just for the fact that people work everywhere every day. So if you want to get further in this world, work ethic is no longer a strong trait. It's a necessary trait, but it's no longer a strong, unique trait. You have to have creativity and passion to actually make that a reality. And how you find your passion is by finding your purpose. And to find your purpose, you have to do a lot of self help and self thinking. I picked up meditating. I picked up studying social media and psychology, Although my degree was in finance, I found out I have a love for rocket science, and I most likely will keep reading science articles for the rest of my days over anything else. You get full independence when you're in university, and it's something you get to experience while your housing, your food, and your transportation are covered for the most part. So, books might still be expensive. You might still have to get a job, of course, but it's all part of growing up. And these costs never leave you. They're covered in university, but they never leave you afterwards. And that's where your time starts to become restricted and you have to get into the workforce. That's why people that are in high school have more of a troubling time to move upwards, because they're doing jobs that anybody else can do, that anybody can replace them with. It's not something highly talented, highly skilled. They might have seniority, they might have been there a long time, they might do it somewhat efficient, but that doesn't mean that nobody else can do it, because it's a job for the most part that anybody can replicate. If you were making the big money, the big bucks, you probably wouldn't be watching this video to begin with. But it takes time to get a lot of things worked out, and you have to understand, a lot of things come into play in terms of where people's ambitions go, cultures. You see a lot of crazy things in college, like protests, riots. Depending on what kind of university you go to, I recommend going to like a large university, just because you get more of a scope of everything that's in the world. Probably somewhere sunny, somewhere nice, and just making sure there's a large student body includes that for large connections. Unless you're going to like an Ivy League, I mean those are powerful connections, but sometimes those connections are also overrated because a lot of those individuals come from a successful background to begin with. So when you're trying to find success for yourself or for your self-help and self-development, to find success within yourself, you want to surround yourself with successful people, but you also don't want to surround yourself with the people that have had success from the start. And there's plenty of examples of individuals that are very successful or self-independent that are at university because they find time to do things such as drop shipping, YouTube videos. Stock option trading was something I got into. We'll talk about that more in other videos. But for the most part, I'm trying to give this an introduction. I'm trying to make this my first YouTube video. I'll be touching base more on a couple other subjects, but the value that I found in university was my connections, the time management skills that I developed and I will carry for the rest of my life, noting housing, food, and transportation and the cost they bring towards you. And of course, there's fun experiences, of course, and the education. At the end of the day, the education is very important, but without the other four, they can only get you so far. Because you can find that same education on YouTube, depending on how serious you take it, depending on the people you're surrounded by, and depending on who's teaching you it, that will drive you towards where you need to get to. And I want to do something like kind of like a recommendation for those people who want more self-help, self-development. One book that I'm reading right now that's very powerful, in my opinion, is a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You will see that book all over the internet. I'm definitely not the first person to recommend it, but it's a very powerful book. It's like $8-9 on Amazon. And Atomic Habits. I believe that one's like $13 or something. I'm not going to lie to you. Atomic Habits bored me. Being the kind of ambitious person that I am with self-help and everything, I had to read it twice. I picked up the book for about a month, set it down for about 2 months, and finally got back to it and restarted the whole thing. Read it through, and it's worth it. You have to read the whole thing. It's worth it. But those books can really help you with your time management and kind of figuring out more or less who you want to be or what you want to do. If you enjoyed this video or found some value in it, I hope you consider dropping a like. I'll see you guys next time.